In the aviation world of unsolved mysteries, one name stands out: D.B. Cooper. This man, or perhaps the phantom that he has become, is synonymous with one of the most audacious crimes of the 20th century. His story begins in 1971 on a seemingly ordinary November day. But this day would soon be etched into the annals of American crime history, thanks to the audacious actions of one man known only as D.B. Cooper. Without revealing too much just yet, let's just say that this was no ordinary crime. It was a skyjacking, a term not often heard, but one that perfectly encapsulates the audacity of the act. This man, D.B. Cooper, would soon become a legend, a man of myth, and a source of endless speculation. Over 50 years have passed, yet D.B. Cooper remains an enigma wrapped in a riddle. The date was November 24, 1971, a day that would go down in infamy. On this day, a man known only as D.B. Cooper stepped into the annals of mystery, creating a story that still baffles us today. In the late afternoon, a man, nondescript in every way, purchased a one-way ticket for Flight 305 to Seattle. He introduced himself as Dan Cooper, a name as ordinary as his appearance. Little did anyone know, this ordinary man was about to execute an extraordinary plan. Once airborne, Cooper handed a note to Florence Schaffner, the flight attendant. Thinking it was just an average attempt at flirtation, she slipped it unopened into her purse. But Cooper leaned over, his voice barely above a whisper, and said, "Miss, you better look at that note, I have a bomb." The color drained from Schaffner's face as she read the note, her eyes darting to the briefcase that Cooper had brought on board. It wasn't just a threat. Cooper opened the case just enough for Schaffner to see what looked like a bomb. The demand was concise: $200,000 in $20 bills and 4 parachutes. Cooper, in his calm and composed manner, instructed Schaffner to take the note to the pilot. The plane was to stay in the air until his demands were met. As the news reached the ground, authorities scrambled to fulfill Cooper's demands. The passengers, oblivious to the drama unfolding, were told the plane was delayed due to minor mechanical difficulties. And all the while, Cooper sat patiently, sipping his bourbon and smoking his cigarettes. The tension in the air was palpable as the plane descended into Seattle. The authorities had managed to gather the money and parachutes, but the question remained: what would happen next? Would Cooper detonate the bomb? Would he take hostages? The possibilities were endless, and the fear was real. As the plane landed in Seattle, none could foresee the audacious escape plan that was about to unfold. With money in hand and parachutes strapped on, D.B. Cooper was ready for the unthinkable. The stage was set. A Boeing 727, eerily quiet save for the hum of its engines, was about to become the theater of one of the most audacious escapes in history. It was a plot straight out of a Hollywood thriller, but this was no movie. This was real life, happening right here, right now. As the plane lifted off the tarmac, the tension was palpable. There were no passengers on board, only Cooper and the flight crew. The cabin was filled with an ominous silence. The flight crew, cloistered in the cockpit, could only guess what was happening behind them. The uncertainty was as thick as the clouds they were ascending into. Cooper, a man of mystery, was about to do something even more mysterious. He was about to jump from an airborne plane, not into the safety of a landing strip, but into the unknown. With $20,000 strapped to his body and a parachute on his back, he stood at the open rear air stair of the Boeing. Then, in the blink of an eye, he was gone. The audacious hijacker had leaped into the pitch-black night, leaving behind a plane, a crew, and a nation in stunned disbelief. The daring escape was as bold as it was dangerous. It was a leap not just from a plane, but into the pages of mystery and legend. As the plane continued its flight, the crew could only wonder, where had Cooper landed? Had he survived the risky plunge, or had he met a grim fate in the wilderness below? Questions swirled like the wind that had swept Cooper away. In the dead of night, over the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, D.B. Cooper disappeared into thin air. His daring escape had transformed him from a mere hijacker into an enigma, a phantom who had vanished as suddenly and as mysteriously as he had appeared. The FBI was left scratching their heads, with the largest manhunt in the history of the United States yielding nothing. It was as if D.B. Cooper had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a trail of questions and a cloud of mystery. The investigation that followed was exhaustive, to say the least. Hundreds of agents scoured the Pacific Northwest, turning over every leaf and stone in their quest to find any trace of the elusive hijacker. Yet, despite their best efforts, the manhunt proved to be a frustrating game of cat and mouse, with Cooper always seeming to be one step ahead. The lack of concrete evidence was a major hurdle. The only solid piece of evidence was a tie left behind by Cooper, but even that provided more questions than answers. Was it a red herring, a deliberate attempt to mislead investigators, or simply an oversight in the heat of the moment? The FBI was left to speculate, with each potential lead fizzling out before it could gain any real traction. Then, in a twist straight out of a mystery novel, a small amount of the ransom money was discovered in 1980, almost 9 years after the hijacking. Found by a young boy on a family outing near the Columbia River, the discovery sparked a renewed wave of excitement and speculation. Could this be the break investigators had been waiting for? But once again, the trail went cold. The money provided no new leads, and the location of its discovery only added to the confusion. How had it ended up there? Was it dropped during Cooper's daring escape or discarded later? The years rolled on and the case of D.B. Cooper continued to baffle investigators. Despite the countless man-hours invested and the extensive resources deployed, the FBI was no closer to solving the mystery. Theories abounded, suspects were questioned and cleared, but the truth remained elusive. Despite their best efforts, the FBI officially closed the case in 2016, leaving more questions than answers. And so, the legend of D.B. Cooper lives on, a testament to one of the most daring and perplexing unsolved mysteries in American history. The case of D.B. Cooper has captivated the world, sparking countless theories and debates. The enigma that is D.B. Cooper has woven a web of intrigue that has left us all guessing for more than half a century. Who was D.B. Cooper? Some believe he was a disgruntled ex-employee with a grudge, while others theorize he was a thrill-seeker who was simply looking for his next big adventure. Some even suggest that Cooper was not a man at all, but rather a woman in disguise, utilizing the era's lax security measures to pull off the heist. Then there are the more outlandish theories, suggesting everything from Cooper being a time traveler to a government operative on a classified mission. But what happened to him? The theories are equally as varied. Some suggest that Cooper didn't survive the jump, his body lost forever in the vast wilderness. Others believe he made it safely to the ground and lived out the rest of his days under a new identity, his secret forever safe. The cultural impact of the D.B. Cooper case is undeniable. The mystery has inspired countless books, movies, and songs. Films like Without a Paddle and The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper have brought the story to the silver screen, while authors like Jeffrey Gray and Ralph P. Himmelsbach have penned detailed accounts of the hijacking and the subsequent investigation. Musicians too have found inspiration in the tale, with songs like Todd Snider's D.B. Cooper and Chuck Brodsky's The Ballad of D.B. Cooper capturing the enigma in lyrical form. The D.B. Cooper case is a puzzle that continues to baffle us, captivating our collective imagination. It's a story of audacity, daring, and intrigue that has stood the test of time, refusing to fade into the annals of forgotten history. Whoever he was, wherever he may be, the legend of D.B. Cooper continues to intrigue and mystify us, a testament to the enduring allure of an unsolved mystery. As we delve into the enigmatic tale of D.B. Cooper, we find ourselves drawn into its mysterious allure. From the audacious hijacking of a Boeing 727 in the skies of the Pacific Northwest to his daring parachute escape into the unknown, the story of D.B. Cooper continues to captivate and baffle us. Despite the tireless efforts of countless investigators and the passing of more than half a century, the identity and fate of this audacious hijacker remain shrouded in mystery. This enduring enigma continues to spark fascination and intrigue, inspiring countless theories, books, and even films. Was Cooper a thrill-seeking daredevil, a desperate man driven to extremes, or a mastermind who managed to outwit the authorities? We may never know. But one thing is clear: the story of D.B. Cooper has become an integral part of our cultural lore. In the end, the only thing we can say for certain is that D.B. Cooper has secured his place in the annals of history as one of the greatest mysteries of all time.